Well, guys, let's try this again. It just what a horrible reverb we got before, and my apologies for that unseemly noise. But hopefully, this will actually work out a lot better for us here. Now, all right, and let's see if we can find Jess again. What do we got here? Do I love technology? It's always making us work a little bit harder, paying a lot more attention. There we go. All right. There we are. That's better. Rhonda Carson, Jill Poles. How's everyone doing? Yeah, we are having a little bit of an issue here with sound. And the sound wasn't actually working very well, but we're back on perfect. It's good to know. Yeah, it was really, we're getting a lot of reverb, so it was very, very frustrating. So I'm bringing back on Team Isagenix athlete, Jill. Where is she here? Joanna McAuliffe, what's going on this weekend? Jill Poles, are you doing anything exciting? What the interesting thing about athletics and is that it's, people in various fields of interest, various type of athletic endeavors. It's interesting to watch what happens when an athlete starts getting the nutrition a lot more focused. They get the nutrition in line. They start paying attention to the little details of recovery. And we're seeing really quite some extraordinary changes in people. And the changes are more performance based. Yes, we want a little bit less weight. We want a little bit more energy, but when you're looking at athletic performance, it's a whole different measure. And because, of course, there's a greater challenge to what we're doing. There's a higher cost. And not only do athletes have to, of course, support their athletic endeavors, but they also really, a big part of what they're doing is trying to support the rest of their life. Because, athletes still are athletes are still fathers and mothers, right? They're still partners, they're still parents, they're employees or employers, and they have all the same responsibilities as everyone else. But of course, in turn, they also had the added stress of being an athlete, especially if they're a very high performance athlete and they're highly competitive. So trying to manage all those details, manage the athletic part of their life as well as managing just the day-to-day parts of their life in general. Of course, it's actually it's an interesting stressor. I'm going to see if we can find this young lady again. No, we're there. So let's see if I can find Jess again. We had some really strange feedback going on prior. And let's see here. Where is Jess? I think we've invited her. And you guys are so patient. I appreciate that. All right, good. There she is. Jess, how you doing? There we go. She's so patient. On the side, waiting for me to get my act together. Yeah, it was very strange, right? Very strange, really bad connection. So hopefully, rebooting the message, rebooting this process will actually make a difference. But again, like I was saying, it just the challenging thing about being an athlete is that we still have everything else going on, right? We still have careers. We still have, a lot of us have kids. Hey, Jennifer, thanks, guys, and thanks for being so patient. That's really great of you. I know it's just I got lots of things going on, and Facebook is trying to add her. It's working hard at it. Come on, Facebook, smarten up. Marie Snow, Heidi, Marie, what's going on? Norm, how you doing this afternoon, my friend, or this evening, or what time is it, wherever you are? All right. Hey, so I see. Now I'm going to try to bring Jess on again. So I'm going to send the invite again. All right. Who do we all have? See. So I sent a request to you, Jess. And I'm going to add, who do I want to add? Okay, you're there. Why won't it let me add you here? All right, let's try something else here. Close that off and try it again. This is so strange. What a complete nuisance. So I'm waving to you. How exciting is that? So you're there. Now, you should be able to click on it and just request to view. I sent you a guest request, but it's not letting me bring you on. And you should be able to, there we go. That's better. Try it again. There, try that again. So it's there.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Seriously.
I was sitting here like nothing's happening. I can hear you. I can see you.
I know. It's just like I'm not letting you come and play in your conversation. Well, see.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, here's the trick. When you're working with Facebook, and because you don't own this technology, right? If we're using a Zoom platform, that's pretty seamless. But you don't own Facebook technology, so you basically just got to kind of suck it up and make your way through it without too much anxiety.
Yeah. Oh man.
Right. Well, listen, everybody's been patient because they're waiting to hear what we have to talk about. So let's get right into it. So the reason for these conversations that we thought about introducing different athletes from all different specialties. I've got my thing and I yammer on about my sport, and people are kind of sick and tired because not everybody's a competitive bodybuilder, and though people might find it kind of interesting, it's not everybody's thing. What is your sport?
My sport now is triathlon, specifically 70.3, which is half Ironman and full Ironman. Wow. And I also do marathons. Wow.
Now, I did a half marathon, and I watched old people run past me, which I found very demoralizing. So what got you into that? What got you into that type of activity, and how long have you been doing that?
Let's see, triathlon. I think it's going on 6 years. Right. Wow. Originally, I've been swimming my whole life. I swam through college, and that's the only thing that I ever did. So, like, I don't know, 20 years now I've been swimming competitively, which is a long time. Then after college, I was burnt out. I wanted to do something else. Still had that athletic drive, and I somehow got into running. Couldn't run a mile, and quickly, like, I don't know, something about it, competitive, just like pushing that limit. Did my first half marathon, and I was like, I think I want to do full.
Wow.
And then, interestingly enough, tied to my Isagenix story, actually, I ran 2 or 3 marathons, and then I had the goal of running the Boston Marathon. Never really thought I could do it because I was at least 30 minutes away. And I qualified the next year after having been on Isagenix for about 9 months. I dropped 28 minutes. So after that, I had told people, I was like, I'll do a triathlon like after I do Boston. And so after that, I was like, well, I guess I got to buy a bike.
Wow, that's crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. I just had a conversation with a fitness group that I run online, and I said that when individuals that are active don't recover properly, high intensity is actually moderate intensity, but you don't have the chops to take it to the next level because you're just not recovering enough, and people don't know what they're capable of. And the funny thing about athletes, especially athletes that are competitive, is that we still have the rest of our life going on. We have that and this. Most athletes, especially competitive athletes, are generally A-type. I don't know. I don't want to catch you on that, but
totally A-type.
Yeah. So not only are we A-type, we still have all these other things going on, and we have to recover from just the rigors of actually being alive, having a career, having a family, those type of things, and all this other stuff. And there's a huge cost, and the cost, there's a metabolic cost to that, a nutritional cost to that. So that's extraordinary, to
Hmm.
have that kind of, they drop that kind of time. What other things are, like, what other benefits are you finding from actually paying attention to the nutritional part of that journey?
I mean, recovery is the biggest one. Exactly what you said. You don't really notice like where you're at until you find something better to kind of push that level. Like I used to do races and I would be sore for like weeks, I think, after my first marathon, which is probably typical. I couldn't even walk for a week. I was so wrecked. And now, I mean, I just did a half Ironman this past weekend and I was running like 3 days later.
Wow.
Um, and I feel great. Like I'm literally recovering in half the time. It doesn't take like weeks anymore. It takes like days.
Well, and it's, so, well, let me ask you this. Before you started that whole process, before you embraced the idea of using a specific supplement line and being consistent with it, what was it like? I know your time obviously improved, but when you talk about recovery, I mean, it's kind of a vague concept. So
Mm-hmm.
what did the 3 weeks of recovery look like prior to you actually using a more refined supplement line?
So, well, I guess it wouldn't even be recovery specifically, even.
Right.
That's just the biggest thing that I've noticed in general. I guess being an athlete, most, and especially endurance athletes,
Right.
you could probably ask anyone, like, you just can't satiate your hunger. It's kind of
Right.
impossible. You're always running on this state of, like, I'm feeling hungry, but I know I've eaten so much food and I still feel empty.
Right.
Um, and it's really hard to describe, like, you know what the feeling is, but
Yeah.
then when you find the thing that actually fills you up and keeps you running, I mean, I can only imagine it's like putting the correct fuel in a
Right.
car. Like when you don't have it, it doesn't run, but then when you have it, you just run. um yeah, so it's more like looking back, feeling like you definitely feel that you're getting nutrition because you're
Right.
full and you're performing and you're recovering, and like everything's just functioning better.
So, well, let me just jump with another quick question because as you talk about that, and I know unless you experience it, it's something hard to kind of articulate. But
Yeah.
when you're pushing yourself as an athlete, and now you find yourself recovering, now you have the rest of your life to contend with, right, outside of your sport. So being healthier on a nutritional level, does that kind of feed back into your day-to-day life and how you function inside of that?
Yeah, so I actually did not really get into Isagenix for like athletic purposes. I actually got into it for the cleanse.
Right, okay.
Interestingly enough, I thought that I was really, really healthy. I mean, I was shopping, I was making weird smoothies, and like I was doing all these cleanses, and I was into like everything that you could possibly be in to be healthy. And sort of like I couldn't really. Everyone thought I was weird for all the things that I was doing. So I actually got into it for the nutrition. I was like, I don't feel well. I'm eating
Right.
the best that I think that I can, and I'm already like kind of ostracized, like the outcast.
Yeah.
And so I was like, whatever, I don't have anything to lose. Like, I'll try it for 30 days and I'll get my money back. Like,
Right.
it's whatever. It's food.
Right.
I need some food. um, so yeah, I really did get into it for the nutrition, and I studied the shit out of it before I ever bought it. Like,
Yeah.
I was one of those, like, let me look into every single ingredient people.
Yeah. It's well, it's fascinating, and I think you made such a great point, and I hope people pick up on it. Is that you know, how demoralizing is it to know that to believe, or to the best of your knowledge, you're doing everything possible. You go through 2 or 3 blenders a year because you're just grinding some fibrous kale smoothie that is just impossible to blend down, and you're doing it. I mean, and with all the best of intentions, with the best of our knowledge, and I had that same experience as an athlete. I was doing everything I could, and I was burning up faster and faster. I'm going, like, this is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. I'm doing everything right, apparently, and
Yeah.
it's just still going sideways. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's a really important takeaway because, again, not only are we athletes, but we still have a personal life inside of that, and to be able to, I found when when this was functioning better because my nutritional levels were higher, I didn't need as many calories. So my intake actually diminished because my nutrition levels were so high from the way I was supplementing my diet. And we still get to eat real food though, right? We're not living on shakes and
Oh yeah,
bars. We still get we're sitting there with a knife and fork all the time, eating well. But I think it's that part.
totally.
Just it's the difference between actually having a better pair of running shoes, and now running is completely different, or having
Yep.
the right bike. If I give you a 60-pound mountain bike and said, okay, you're on, go do your triathlon, man, you're going to be dying, right?
Yeah,
It's the
totally.
same
Yeah.
kind of the same, and I think that's the disconnect that people don't get. That it's really selecting the right nutrition is as important and is as specific as getting the right bike, the right tools for the game. So, yeah,
Yep.
that's fascinating. So now, how long have you been on this? How long have you been using Isagenix as part of your nutritional plan?
Ooh, it's going on 6 years. It'll be
Wow.
6 years this fall, which is insane to me. Like, where is the time gone? I don't know.
So
I-
it's obviously had a tremendous impact on you and your performance
Mhm.
and your health, and of course, and one of the things that we know that when we're feeling good and we're doing something good for ourselves, it tends to have a kind of a bit of a spillover effect. So
Mhm.
is there people watching you and interested? So what impact has your success with the nutrition part of Isagenix? What impact has that had that in your life, business wise or otherwise?
Um, I guess business wise, again, I never intended to have a business of any kind with this. And I still like do things outside of this, coaching and all sorts of other things. Um, but it's definitely something where by just naturally sharing it and me having like successful results and like athletes that I work with, it's something that kind of pays back,
Yeah.
which is very interesting. I mean, even if I wasn't necessarily doing that, just eating the food myself, getting money back for it is super simple. And so, I mean, and it's paying for itself, which is awesome. Like that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, GNC doesn't. I used to shop in GNC for years and come out with my big armload of full of stuff, and I would get a coupon every now and again. I've been with Isagenix for just almost 10 years now,
Wow.
and I don't think I actually had to pay for my product for the last 7.
Nice.
Like I've been eating for free for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Which is, and again, that's unheard of. And I'm like,
Hmm.
like I'm an athlete. I was a business owner. I've been self-employed for many, many years. I love the athletic training. I love coaching people, and it's still my primary joy. Isagenix just happened to fit into it nicely because it was the missing equation that made all this other stuff work so much better. So yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't my business focus, but it seemed to find there's a beautiful cohesion about having it there.
Oh yeah. I mean
Yeah.
it makes a huge difference, especially athletes that eat a lot of food or anyone that's tight on expenses. Like races cost a lot of money. I don't think some people don't realize like how much races cost, and it's a lot. And so that on top of food expenses, like anything helps. And this is just one of those things that's like a no-brainer because you're saving money as you're going along too.
Yeah, and that's the funny part. I know people get a little disconnected around, like how much do I have to spend? And I go, well, I'll have people bring their bank statement for the last 2 months, and we'll go over it together. And I say, now look how much money you spent, $890, and this
Hmm.
much was for real food. The rest was Starbucks and all these other incidental, nickel and dime expenses.
Hmm.
And I think most people, they end up saving somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 a month in their food and supplement expenses because they're getting something that works better, so they don't need
Hmm.
as much of it continuously. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I used to go to Costco every single week, and now I'm and not cheap events at Costco by any stretch, but then walking out of it, of course, now I'm there maybe every 3 weeks maybe for a big shop, but no longer every week, and I've saved a fortune. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really interesting thing that people struggle with and don't realize just how much money you save by investing in really high quality nutrition.
Hmm. Yeah, totally.
So and I promise that we keep this short. That's not my forte or my experience. because I like talking to athletes, but just on a party note, if somebody's really just kind of curious about this whole process, but they're a little bit intimidated, they're afraid to get kind of hooked into the vortex. Um, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face about just how impactful it's been for us in our lives and our sport. But what would you throw to people that are kind of standing on the fringes, kind of watching what we do?
Ooh, I'd say you have nothing to lose. First off, I mean, there's with all the promotions that happen, and I mean, the 30-day money back guarantee. I mean, if you can save, even initially, like I get it, the initial order seems like a big cost, but if you can save up for that and do it, it's totally worth it. And from there on, like it's a no-brainer. You'll be telling yourself, like, why did I not do this so much sooner? And there's so much more stuff that comes along with it, like the community, the friendships, the people that I've met, all those relationships. Like that stuff is priceless that you would never ever see coming either. You're like, I'm just getting some supplements, whatever, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah, I don't think I've had the GNC guy at my house for dinner ever, right? And you're right. I mean, and it's because we're all here to move the needle forward, and the shared experiences. We share skill sets within our community team, Isagenix. There's a real beautiful cohesion, and it's like the UN for athleticism. We got people from all over the world, different conversations, and truly, I remember David Wood saying this one time. Said that, some of my best friends in the world are actually I found within this company.
Totally.
Well said. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad we got past the bizarre false start. And thanks for sharing your experience. I know it's really important. Again, for people to hear it again and again, it may not be what I say or my experiences. It may not be yours, but somewhere along the way, somebody will resonate with what we say, and they'll actually have the opportunity to have the experience that we have. Because this is, we're doing this to pay it forward, right? We're doing this.
Yeah.
This is not a business show. There's no call to action at the end. It's just an exposure of something that has profoundly changed my life. I know it's profoundly changed yours, and so many people connected to. And we just wish that for everyone, for sure.
Totally. Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me on. This is great. Besides technical issues.
Well, if Facebook never runs smoothly, I'm fucking so. Just thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Have an incredible weekend. And one day you may find me on a bike flying past you on a triathlon. But not today.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, bye.